Greetings, football lovers. Welcome to another episode of Ball Chat Podcast, Season 3, Episode 1. I'm your host, but one of the hosts, part of the Ball Chat family, Benton. Along with the family, come on, Junior, Season 3. You guys ready for Season 3? How you doing?
Good enough.
Good.
Ready up.
Ready
Nice
up.
having you, man.
Ju-
Ready up, ready
and
up.
and this is junior engineer. How you doing, boss? We'll deal with other junior in a minute. But junior engineer, how you doing?
I'm good enough. I'm here.
Football lovers, Ball Chat Podcast is all about reviewing the week's major news in the world of football. We discuss some of the major happenings in the world of football. And EPL kicked off this week, and La Liga. If you're following us on Flow Sports, our Ball Chat YouTube page, or our Ball Chat Facebook page, you can join the discussion, send on your comments or questions. We normally have ballers and bugs at the top of the show, but we're kicking off with a special guest, the live hot baller from Phoenix Rising, baller for the month in USL, Mr. Junior Flemmings. Junior, what go on, brethren?
There, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Welcome. Boy, you're scoring goal left, right, and center. How you doing? How you scoring so many goals, brethren?
If we get a secret, we're not going to score no more.
Football lover will talk to Junior Flemmings for a few. It's an honor and a privilege to talk with him and discuss some of the success he has on the field and outlook for the future, as he's definitely on a hot streak in the USL. And then we'll discuss ballers and bugs, and then hit some of the major news in the world of football. We have a new segment kicking off this week. We're going to highlight women's football for about 3 to 5 minutes. Khadij Fishley is going to join us later on to give us an update on that and wrap up our show with ballers and bugs. So let's kick it off with Junior Flemmings. Junior, we went into the beginning of the pandemic. The USL was suspended. It restarted. You came out in the restart on fire, scoring golazos. I think you scored 2 sensational goals. I've been trying to do that all the time I've been playing, but I can't. What did you do in the break, boss? What exactly? I know it's a secret, but can you give us a hint? What did you do to transition yourself to such a lethal force up front?
To be honest, at one point, we didn't really know if we were going to play again because of the pandemic, and I just took the time wisely to do a self-introspection and look back on the stuff that I can work on to improve my game to the next level. And I think that's the time that I really took and worked on myself and put in all that extra work, and I think it's just paying dividend right now.
Yeah, paying dividend, because you scored some fantastic goal. Outlook for the future in this league. I mean, you're just taking it one step at a time. I'm sure you have, your coach has spoken about you've have higher heights for other leagues, to paraphrase. That's essentially a goal for you, getting to the highest leagues out there?
Yes, that's always a focus. I mean, to play in top flight football, and I just have to take it one step at a time. And whatever happened already for the past couple of weeks, I think it can be null if I don't finish strong, and that's what I have to focus on and try to maintain going into these final 4 or 5 games, and keep that form, and then whatever happened after happened.
Yeah. So you're taking it one step at a time. All right, Junior, and come on, let's talk to Junior Flemmings for a little bit, and he's short on time.
Junior, so I have a friend, right? Rex Roy. Rex Roy is always watching the games and always, trying to talk to me and ask me, like, what is Junior doing? How is he, scoring all these goals? So yesterday when we told him that we were having you on, him sent me a whole bunch of questions. Number one had me giggling, but I have to ask you. Him have to ask you if you solve your dropsy problem now, because him feel like every time you run, you drop, and then him say, ask him if him feel like him have a chance to finally come close to meeting the expectations from JCD.
Yeah, to be honest, I think the to how I actually play the game or wanted to play is that it's a lot physical, and sometimes I invite the contact, and I think that's a part of my game. And a lot of time people might see it as like being fouled or being dropped, but I think that's a part of my game where I initiate the contact, and then that's how I go about like playing the game. So a lot of times I will find myself in that situation.
So no, do you think that, well, guess what? JC days is a schoolboy football. No, you're a professional. So I would think that you figure that you passed, the level that you were at JC. Do you think that is a fair assessment?
Yes, I think my game has grown a lot, and not just by just being on the field and kicking the ball, but tactically aware of roles and responsibilities and time management and all that stuff plays a big role, especially in a rivalry game or like a quarterfinals or a league cup game or and all those stuff. And I think it all comes down back to the maturity of you know and the experience of how many games you have played already, and you know what to do based on every game because every game is a little different.
Yeah, so in one question has couple parts, and he would be so upset if me not ask them. So in want to know if you think that you stayed in Manning Cup too long, like like oh we see Barcelona, and we see when they take the
Yeah,
kids at 12 and 11, and they teach them all these you know fancy things, all the things that you just listed, like the time management, the way how you play and whatever. Do you think that you should have left high school a little bit earlier to move on to improve your game and to work on not only on the field but also off the field?
yeah, that's all. That was something that was brought up while I was going to JC, and to be honest, I think it all depends on the opportunity because I think in Jamaica, we really don't have that academy or that way of how we do things at a tender age before we actually reach a pro level. And I think that's where the transition, comes in, where we have to realize that okay, at 10 to 14, these are kids that are overseas that are looking to play for their second team, looking to play for their first team. And I think that's where we need to step up in terms of football in Jamaica, because I think if we can get all those talents and all those expectations from players that are playing at schoolboy level and the youth clubs, and have them in an environment where they're only focusing on football or focusing on something that they want to achieve at the next level, I think it would be a lot different versus you have to be going to school and the parents be telling you, okay, it's either one way or the other way, versus there it's either you're gonna play football or you go the other route.
Right,
And I
right.
think that's where we're lacking in terms of that, because a lot of people don't see football as a way out in Jamaica, right?
Hmm.
And I think if we know that, that's a really good avenue where you can pave a path for not only yourself and your family, I think that would be a different question for a lot of people.
So your advice is not to spend 8 years in high school. That is your advice. Your advice is
Yeah,
do your five, get your subjects, get yourself organized, be a little bit more mature, and then go. Which I think it is
yeah. If,
fair.
if sports,
Like us.
yeah, if sports is the one that, if sports is what you want to do, I think you should go after it. And because even before I start playing for New York, like a lot of people was like, do you think you want to risk it at this level? It comes with a lot of injuries. And I'm like, listen, everything in life comes with risk. So it's either you're gonna take the risk or you're gonna sit back and let stuff come at you, which you're not gonna move. And I really took the initiative to say, listen, I'm gonna take it on, and then from there on I just went out because as I said, in jobs, you're gonna have ups, you're gonna have downs, and sports, you're gonna have injuries. Just about how you go about your way of life.
Hmm. And I've seen it because I've watched you play from schoolboy, U17, U20, U23 senior team, and I see the the one-sided rivalry with Phoenix and Orange County now. So I've seen the maturity not only in your play, but you as well. Because I read your interviews are better. I mean, like you're more outgoing. Not that you weren't outgoing before, but now you see the growth, and which is very good to see. And I'm really, really proud of you. And you know, I am rooting for Phoenix, not Orange County anymore. So you know how that goes. But it's very good, and I'm glad that you're out there. You're actually like leading the way. You know, showing the kids that you don't have to spend 8 years. There are other opportunities. You have been injured. You've had terrible injuries, and you've come back. I know you've been disappointed in regards to clubs, playing time, all of that. So it's really, really good to see you, Junior, in a good place.
Yeah.
And I wish nothing but the best for you. So when you go to
Thanks,
Europe,
man.
behind your mommy, I get the second jersey. You're the second jersey. Over to you now, Junior, the engineer.
Well, Judah, you, Judah Flemmings, my namesake. I am a business house, corner league midfielder general, and talking to the real general right now. I, I really love to see your growth, and I'm going to speak to you as a fan of Jamaica and a fan of reggae boys. We love to see our players playing at such a high level. We love to see our players representing our culture and making us feel proud, because I have to big you up for that. You're scoring goals at will, and you don't have to say it. I will say it for you. You're scoring good goals because you have some people out there scoring some buck up goals and things, so them they have arrived. But you are scoring world class, in my opinion, good finishes, world class finishes. So where do you attribute that finishing touch to?
I think actually it's just time, in and out on the training pitch because I definitely like see a strength in my game and I took the time to work on it, which is cutting in on my right foot from the left side and shoot, and I spend hours and hours of working on it because I mean realistically, perfect example when you're watching Messi, like everyone knows he's gonna come in, but yet still you can't stop him, and he's gonna do the same shot 10 times, and he's gonna score what maybe nine times.
Right.
So I look back on that and I told myself that listen, I think this is something I can really work on and get better at it. And I think over time, it has shown that I've put in a lot of work on it, and it's become like a trademark for me now, which is coming in and shoot.
Indeed. So I don't want to put you on the spot, but I'm gonna ask you a question. You can respectfully not answer it. But we have a debate going on where every week we talk about USL versus RSPL. In your opinion, if you were to compare both leagues, from your experience and what you are seeing, how would you, if not to say rate, I don't want to say which one is better, but for a Jamaican footballer, young youth, because our show is primarily geared towards also helping the younger generation come up and look up to players like you. So I want you to talk to that younger player right now that is probably trying to make it in the RSPL. What should they look forward to in the USL? What is different? What is a different preparation for a USL player compared to RSPL player?
Uh, that's a good question, and I think I've answered that question more than anything else since I played in the USL. And I think when I used to play in the RSBL back home, it was just talent.
Right.
It was just you being a talented player, and yeah, you can go and play for the Arborview and the Tivoli and the Arnett and the Waterhouse, and you will look good, right? But how well can you do over a period of time? How concentrated can you be during 90 minutes? The focus. And it also has to do a lot of tactical discipline. The speed of play is different. And I think the Premier League back home now, because I have once bet media on my phone, like I normally watch them every week in, week out. I still watch the games and stuff. And in my opinion, I think it's just more of physicality more than anything else.
Right.
Another player wants to go so hard on another player to try to hurt him or to impede what he's doing. If you have someone that is doing well, scoring some goals, and he goes up against another team, the defenders of that team main focus or priority is to try to hurt him. And I think we should go away from that mindset in terms of, you can defend, play hard, but do it properly. Don't try to do it forcefully to show someone, that you try to prove something against someone. And I think that's where we kind of struggle, because we think that if we don't kick someone or do something bad, then you're not playing good or you're not doing good. And it just all has to do with the tactical discipline, because you can be going up against a good player, and because you're so tactically oriented and you organize what you're doing, with your defense, that player still don't get a chance and go. Versus you have to go physically and try to kick him or try to hurt him.
Yeah.
And I think, it's just the mindset and the mentality of the players, try to switch out of that gear to say, listen, we can go about other ways of doing things. We can go about other ways of winning a game, not try to go at the referees or try to physically impede whatever is happening or spectators or all of that. So I just think if we focus a lot more on playing and try to get stuff more organized on the pitch, I think we can leave everything else outside of football to take care of itself.
All right.
We need better fields.
Yeah.
We need
Yeah,
better
the fields
pitches.
are
We need better referees. I mean, I understand but then when you talk about the difference between RSPL, I always complain, and I'm not a big fan of schoolboy football. Let me tell you that. I'm not going to scale a fence to go watch schoolboy football play. But I've seen it where in RSPL, someone would try to do a block foot tackle, right? Versus I have seen you play against the guys from Scotland, the guys from Argentina in USL, and I've seen you twist them up. That is what we're missing in RSPL. You don't see the person we have the mental capacity behind the speed and the strength. You have some players in our RSPL, big and fast and strong like Lukaku, right? But when it comes to the thinking portion of the game, like a Modric, they don't have it. And I understand what you're saying, and I wish and I hope that somebody will teach the next generation that. Because trust me, we don't have to learn the hard way. So we would love somebody
it's
to
so
come and
crazy
really teach them.
Yeah, it's so crazy to, even when I just went to New York and I was practicing. I remember my first week of training, and I went to tackle a player, and I used my shoulder and bumped him. And in training, the coach said that's a foul. And I looked at him like this, and I'm like, how is that a foul?
Yeah.
And then a couple days after that, I keep doing the same thing. And in myself, playing in Jamaica, that's never a foul. Referee will never call it as a foul, right? And it's just the difference, with us thinking that you don't have to actually kick someone or for them to fall on the ground for you to say that, that tackle or what you do is impeding the player's reaction when he has the ball or stuff like that. And I think, it's just those, little things. But I think, it's more about physical challenges, in the league. And sometimes when I look at it, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like we could have had at least every year you have at least one broken leg in the league.
Yeah.
But you don't have an outlet though, Junior. I mean, like we quarrel all the time, but because between high school football, what else is there to do? You see what I say? So you go high school, you're there high school for 8 years, 7 years, whatever. Then you leave. Then the natural course is Restaurant Premier League. So in between that, you take your bad habits from high school and you take it to RSPL.
Yeah.
And then if you notice, and I don't want to talk bad about anybody at all, but if you notice, like some of our footballers, when they come here, they can't adjust because it's completely different. And it's not like they're 14. Because do you know how hard it is for you take a 20-year woman and change? Yeah.
I've seen Jamaican players come over here playing in the league, and they struggle.
Yeah.
And they struggle because of what they used to do.
Yeah, football family. We have Junior Flemmings of Phoenix Rising FC Giant. We're wrapping up with Junior. We know he have a big Sunday and he's busy. Just a couple questions from fans before we let you go, Junior. Michael Gordon, big up yourself, family watching on YouTube. Michael says, is there any impending moves to leagues as you have outgrown the USL? That's up to you, Junior, if you want to answer or not. But have to submit the question from the fan. Your answer to that.
As I said, we have the next 4 to 6 weeks to finish off the season. And I think hopefully within that time, you can definitely look for some news.
Jason Frame says, big up yourself, Junior Flemmings. You definitely have a lot of fans here in Ball Chat family. Wrapping up with you.
Hold on, BM is asking one question. BM is asking, he said, ask Junior which league he would prefer to play in Europe. What's your ideal destination in Europe? If Europe is your ideal destination.
I like the English league a lot. And I think if you're gonna compare, the Spanish league, because I'm a fan of Messi, and I think Spain is more of ball and tactician and all of that. But I think the English league have all of those components, in terms of everything. Good football, speed of play, tactician, great players, great games, great rivalry. I think the English league have a lot more teams going towards that goal versus in Spain, you have the Barca and the Real Madrid. Where in England, at any given point, you can have a team that just got promoted and, they're at second, they're at third. They just show the competition.
Yeah.
We have a team that wear red and white, and they might not get Sancho. So I'm just saying.
Okay, we're not advocating Manchester United. One more question, Junior Flemming, before we let you go. Jason Frame says, still haven't forgiven you for spending the extra year in Manning Cup. Would like to know what or who influenced that decision. Football family, Jason Frame, where you out of the money? Yo, that's a question from our listener online.
To be honest, that extra year was based on, because I had some opportunities to go overseas at that point, to go on a couple trials, and it didn't end up work out, and I didn't want to take the initiative to start playing in the Red Star Premier League too early. One, because I think at that point wasn't the right decision, and I wanted to play again, and hopefully if I didn't choose to play football, I could secure a Division 1 scholarship to go to college. So that was my initial reason why I didn't.
Yeah. So you heard it, Jason Frame. Don't bother with hip-hop, panga questions. Junior Flemming, wishing you all the best for the rest of the season, brethren. You scored 12 goals already. Hopefully this will cap off with a championship year for you guys. I wish you all the success and good luck. Yo, you scored that golazo, that goal from outside the box. Brethren, what did you eat the night before?
No, to be honest, I think that team, they came and they know, they wanted to stop us from, go at the wings, because that's our strength, and they played 5 in the back, and we couldn't get any space. Every time I picked it up, it was 3-4 players around me, and I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna jump off and get it. And then the first time I jumped off and get it, and I hit it, the next one they started to run out. I couldn't kick another one from there. So that's what you gotta do. You gotta change it up a little bit, hit them from far, and hopefully they come out, and then you can do your normal thing, which is dribble out there.
Yeah, man, that was sensational. Junior, I want to wish you all the success. Thank you for joining us on Ball Chat. We'll definitely be going to be watching the rest of the year and continued success, brethren. Continued success, even though you are JC alumni still. Bless up, family.
Respect, man. Respect.
I thank you, Junior. Take care.
Yeah, man, no problem.
Maximum respect, Junior. Bless up.
Yeah, man.
So, football family, you heard it there first. USL Player of the Month, big baller himself, Junior Flemming, and going from one big baller to ballers and bugs of the week. Let's set up the ballers and bugs EPL return. Junior, as in the engineer Junior, we always have come on starting first. Go ahead, Junior. Who do you have as your ball of the week watching football?
Come on.
Let me tell you something. My ball of the week, real quick. I have to.
We seem to be having a bit of issue with.
Shout out to the NFL. I was watching.
Yeah, go ahead, Junior. Football family, we seem to be having a bit of issue with Junior's and Camon stream there.
You hear me?
Junior, you're back with us. Yeah, go ahead, Junior.
Are you hearing me now?
Yes, I'm hearing you now.
All right. My ball, real quick. I have to big up the NFL. I have to big up I have to big up Fox. has nothing to do with soccer, has nothing to do with our football, but we lost a legend in Toots from Toots and the Meters. And I was watching the NFL earlier, and I heard Toots and the Meters playing, leading out to commercial. Big up, big up, big up NFL and Fox. There's some Jamaican there in the production booth playing Toots and the Meters. Salute, hats off, rest in peace, the legend Toots from Toots and the Meters. On the football field, though, my baller of the week goes out to James Rodriguez. New league, new surrounding, new environment against the great Jose Mourinho, and the man look like a real general. Big up James Rodriguez.
James Rodriguez and Everton gets his ball of the week. Along with legendary Toots Hibbert, sweet and dandy, brethren, sweet and dandy. Toots Hibbert passed away, unfortunately, left an indelible mark, and ball of the week for Junior. Come on, we'll save the best for last. You have a ball of the week. Who you have?
Oh, Salah for his hat trick. Leeds for almost holding or beating Liverpool. Vardy, because he's old and he still thinks that he's at a party. And James Rodriguez actually looked good playing against a toothless Spurs today. So those four are my ballers of the week.
And this is why we don't let come on start with ballers of the week, because she took off all the ballers there. Big up Dalton Stewart. Dalton Stewart says ballers is Salah and only Salah for masterclass display against Leeds. Salah, Mohamed Salah, the king of Egypt, scored a hat trick. Owen Gray says ball of the week is Salah. Honorable mention to Leeds, they played well. Ball of the week from Reggie. Reggie says his ball of the week is Jill Roord of Arsenal woman for a hat trick against West Ham. Also Mohamed Salah for saving Liverpool from a loss against Leeds, and Arsenal women beat the brakes off West Ham 9-1. We'll get an update on women's soccer as with Kadish officially later on in Ball Chat. My ball of the week is Fabian Ruiz. Got to big up, not Fabian Ruiz, Fabian Allen of Everton, and that Everton midfield being instrumental as Everton beat miserable Spurs. As Jose Mourinho said, he's questioning the mindset of his team. Segueing from ball.
Hold on, Jason Frame says ball of the week Leeds. Even though they lost, they showed they came to play, and of course Arsenal, but whatever.
And of course Arsenal. BM said on your ballers of the week or bugs of the week. Segueing from ballers to bugs, Junior, who do you have as your bug of the week? And is that because you're a Manchester United fan?
Well, Jose Mourinho, my bug of the week. The man even blamed COVID cases for the loss today. Jose
Mourinho is a bug of the week, but as Tottenham lost this Everton, and get the popcorn ready because it will be entertaining with Jose Mourinho and Tottenham and this Tottenham outfit for the next few weeks or so. Come on, who do you have as your bug of the week watching football?
I have two ballers. Jose Mourinho, because he made history. This is the first time he has lost on opening match day of a league season as a manager. So that gives him a big, big bug. Second of all, Hector. Michael Hector looked like a championship footballer in English Premier League. Yes, it's
not
early.
The Jamaican Michael Hector, come on.
Yes, Junior's Michael Hector. He looked poor yesterday. Maybe it was just the jitters. I don't know. But this is first game. I give him the benefit of the doubt, so I'm going to pick it up. But he's still my bug of the week.
Bug of the week is Michael Hector and Jose Mourinho. So we'll get to that in our EPL review. Dalton Stewart said bug of the week is Nottingham Cold Spurs. They are clueless. Keep sending on your ballers and bugs, and we'll go ahead and read them out. My bug of the week is my team here in the A, Atlanta United. Pathetic Atlanta United. We have not. Last time we won a game was August 22nd. We're 0-3-2. And Isel Barco and Torres have the audacity to be arguing over a penalty. We lost to Nashville, lost to Inter Miami FC, and lost to Orlando. Idiot team, Atlanta United, Darren Eagles, and the entire Atlanta United organization. Bug of the week. All right, segueing from ballers and bugs, keep sending your ballers and bugs to quick hits, quick takeaways from the EPL and La Liga. The game of the week, or before we get to the game of the week, let's touch Liverpool versus Leeds quickly. Leeds lost the game, but Virgil van Dijk looked like a basket carrying water. Come on.
That's unfair, but that's unfair. I mean,
Virgil
he
van
made
Dijk
one
looked
error.
like a basket carrying water.
No, he made one error, and then he kind of made up for it because he scored. But Trent and Gomez were actually exposed on more than one occasion by Leeds. So now Liverpool, they have now conceded 3+ goals in back-to-back in home league games for the first time since September 1982. So Klopp will have his work cut out, and they need to shore up their defense.
Junior, chime in. You said that Liverpool, I think I want to quote you here. You said this Liverpool side is going to get some kick up. Your thoughts on what you saw yesterday? Junior is not with us. It seems like he's dropped. But Coles, regarding the Liverpool game, Liverpool made a lot of errors. They found a way to win the game. Was this an aberration? Come on.
No. I mean, I think it's a lesson. Now I think that, they can use it as a warm-up game. They can see what they need to fix. And as I said, the defense needs to be fixed because Leeds is a newly promoted side. It's not a Man City. It's not a Chelsea. We have the wicked front line, and their defense was kind of picked apart. Trent, who is normally a good player, he looked a little bit haphazard. Virgil, he made an error, but Leeds actually put the pressure on. So Liverpool will have to get, if they have to get Thiago, they have to dig someone. They have to call LeBron to get a loan. They have to get Thiago so that the side can actually win back the trophy.
They have to get Thiago. Waiting for Junior to join in. Come on, your quick thoughts on Leeds. I thought Leeds, played attractive football, but defensively they were pathetic at the back. I mean, of course they're playing Liverpool. When are the championship? The newly promoted teams are going to learn. We saw West Brom, Fulham, all three of the newly promoted teams, they lost. First time in 7 years that the newly promoted teams lost on opening day. All three newly promoted teams lost on the opening day. When are the newly promoted teams going to commit to defense? And do you think that Leeds need to address that issue at the back? They can play all the fancy ball they want, but they need to do something at the back.
I give everybody 6 games in. Even my Chelsea team, what I expect to win the trophy. I am giving every team 6 games in. That includes the Fulham, the West Brom, and Leeds. Of the 3, though, I see Leeds actually doing really, really well. And as I said, when they go back and they watch the film, they can realize what they need to fix and what what works well for them. And I do think that Leeds is very, very good. Attractive football, yes. The defense, I mean, Leeds reminded me yesterday of a Manchester City 2.0. So I do think that Leeds will fix their issues, and they will actually compete.
And they will compete.
They actually played good football against the reigning champion.
Against the reigning champion. We've lost Junior. We'll see if he comes back in. There's some technical issues going on with him. Big up Dalton Stewart. Dalton Stewart says, just a warm-up game. Dalton, the football family, is a Liverpool fan. He says Leeds has been consistent for the past 3 years. Bug of the week, or bugs of the week from Jason Frame, is Manchester United for play a warm-up match when league start. And of course Spurs. Reggie says bugs of the week is Spurs. Our bugs of the week for him are Spurs and Atlanta United. Before we get to Spurs versus Everton, come on. Arsenal beat we're not going to say bricks, but they really dominated Fulham. Your thoughts? I mean, William, which I was very I questioned that move to transfer William, but he was exceptional, had a few assists for them. But your thoughts on Arsenal?
I don't know why you question the move with
Because he's
William.
too old. It's too old. It's too old.
No, and Arsenal cheap. So they will actually get cheap players to come in to do the work. Listen, I have no problem with William. I think he's an excellent player. And even though we're balling about 2-0, look at Bayern Munich's team. You know, so William still has a lot to offer. Yesterday William played like a man possessed, right? I actually missed him yesterday, which is not too good because I'm around for cuss him. And he had a hand or a foot in all three goals. So I actually say he might not be a starter. He might not be in the on the bench for the entire 38 games or whatever on the pitch. But I do see William contributing and helping Arsenal to actually be top three. Don't tell nobody Mr. Still, you know. But I think Arsenal with William, how he played yesterday, I mean, they can actually do things.
And it's
the two Brazilian them connected on more than one occasion, and them look troublesome.
And it's unlikely William will play that well all year. All right,
Yeah.
Junior's back joining us, the engineer. Junior, we didn't get your bug of the week. Brethren, who is your bug of the week?
Oh, you never get my bug of the week?
No, yeah.
I think Liverpool fans know about to beat them, and I think that's why. But that's all right. I'm not beating them this week. Liverpool is okay. Jose Mourinho is my bug of the week.
Oh, yeah. But your thoughts on the Liverpool Leeds game? You said, do they have to get Thiago Alcantara? Can Thiago alone fix this problem?
Thiago alone will fix that problem. Liverpool is only one game. I'm not going to be a Liverpool hater, but yesterday showed me why I don't have Liverpool finishing in the top three.
Okay.
I see why Liverpool will not finish in the top three yesterday. No, they have to get Thiago Alcantara. They just have to. They have to. Keita is not it.
Yeah.
Henderson is not it. GG looks like he has his head halfway in Barcelona right
Oh, stop it.
No, it is what it is.
Stop
Just to be fair, they need to refresh that midfield, and that's it.
Yeah. All right. The feature game of the weekend, we have two more games in EPL that will take place to wrap up the week. Weekends play. We have Chelsea versus Brighton coming up, and Wolves versus Sheffield United that will play tomorrow. But the feature game was Everton versus Spurs. Miserable Spurs. Junior, is it time to start park up the bus and get Jose Mourinho out of town?
Is Dele Alli driving the bus? Because
what?
Dele.
How do you take off Dele Alli at halftime? Was he injured?
What the hell is wrong with Dele? I mean, and 3 weeks ago, you would think Jose and Ndombele would be fighting, breaking each other's arms if they can. And as soon as Ndombele came out, Jose reportedly loves his focus. This is the first game, and then the man want to blame it. We don't want to take anything away from Ancelotti, but Ancelotti did something simple. Richarlison, they cannot stop you. Go down the left wing and attack the right side of that Tottenham defense. And Richarlison played like a man possessed today. He played like a man that wants to go to Barcelona. It's
Barcelona getting everybody, huh?
No, but it's crazy how James Rodriguez looks so comfortable in the midfield against Jose Mourinho, who is known for taking away your best player. If I was to give you the Everton starting 11 and say, who is their best player? James Rodriguez will be number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. And he looked so comfortable in the mid. Even the commentator said his hardest work today was in the warm-ups. Something wrong. There's something wrong.
All right, come on. You love Jose, but you don't like Spurs. How do you mix these two together?
Just like how I eat Oreos and I don't like chocolate. Everything soft milk. Listen, Everton looked good. Let us not beat around the bush. They were the better side today. They deserved to win. They looked well oiled. I mean, like in every little aspect you could think of. And it is surprising because this is Everton that we beat up all the time because they're just so sucky. this was their only win against a top six side in a whole bunch of years. So for Everton to really beat Tottenham, even though it's 1-0, the score kind of belied the entire game. It's a good accomplishment for them. Jose needs to go back to the drawing board. Whatever he did before the game starts, halftime, it just never worked. I just don't think Deli Ali is it. And I said all the time, I'm not sold on Hurricane. Never have been, will never be. Um, Son is my player, but I just don't think that Tottenham did enough in the off season to improve, where they'll end up.
So the elephant in the room question here, Junior and come on and football family. James Rodriguez, Adelaide Corey and Fabian Allen, these are new acquisitions for Carlo Ancelotti. Yes, he have history with two of those players, but they came in the last 2 weeks, whereas Jose Mourinho had the entire summer or entire whatever we want to call it break to kind of mold this team together, and they just look still disjointed. Is you can't get rid of the entire team, so I mean at some point they have to decide what to do with this outfit.
But Benton, you're missing the point.
What's the point?
You can have a car sitting in a garage for a year, right? And it don't give you 50 miles to the gallon. And you go there and you pick up a car or up on the side of the road and it gives you 50 miles per gallon. Quality over quantity all the time. You just listed 3 good players. Name 3 good players for Spurs side, and do not tell me Hurricane. He's good in English terms. I am saying, if Jose Mourinho go out there and he get James Rodriguez and drop him in there, maybe he wouldn't do as well, and maybe he would have helped them. But Everton went out there and did just enough to change their dynamic. Don't matter 2 days, 3 days ago, these are quality players. These are the players that Jose Mourinho needs. He not have no quality players.
Gosh.
It's the same players from... What is different? Tell me what is different. What is different?
What is different? He has more time now. Last year he complains that he joined at the middle of the season, and to fair to him, he did join at December. Now he has more time. So now he has more time to mold this unit.
But wait, man. Give him 3 more press conferences and start telling Uno good. So that's what we need now. He needs better players. Tottenham don't want to spend the money. They will forever have mediocre players.
Oh, Jose Mourinho. Junior, since come on, is a Jose Mourinho apologist. Jose Mourinho at the post-match press conference said, he's questioning the mindset of his players. Game 1, Junior. What do you think of that?
What do I think of it? We've seen that it's a broken record now, and I was a Jose Mourinho disciple. I am now turning my back on Jose. So there's nothing to say there. This is just Jose being Jose, and again, you brought up a key point. Everton brought in 3 players over the last couple of weeks, and they came out there and looked so good. It was real simple. Calvin Lewin, you go stand right beside Eric Dyer. If he even calls off the field to tie him shoelace, you tie your shoelace beside him. Richardson, you go stand up beside Doherty. James, you stand up behind Calvin Lewin in front of Dyer and let Alderweireld run like a chicken with him head cut off. It was just elementary football. It's simple. Get 10 players behind the ball. We're going to use our speed. James, when you get the ball, the first thing you do is look to the left wing. Richards will be running wide open because Doherty seems to love to overlap. I mean, it's just simple. It's just simple
football. All right, so big up to Everton and having a very big
against Tottenham.
Yeah, you were saying, Julia?
I can't wait to see Leeds play against Tottenham.
This is true. So big up to Carlo Ancelotti and the entire Everton family. Even the Everton supporter club here in the States are rolling out. I didn't even know they exist. Let's set up a couple games coming down the pipe. We're pushing up against the clock here. Quick, big game coming down. Just want to hear your thoughts. Chelsea versus Liverpool next weekend. We haven't seen Chelsea yet, but we've seen Liverpool. Your thoughts? Come on, and Junior, quickly.
Chelsea are going to beat Liverpool. We're not even going to ask, no question. I mean, even I'll give it a scoreline, 3-1.
So come on says Chelsea will win 3-1 over Liverpool. The game is at Stamford Bridge, of course, as expected. Junior, your thoughts?
Yeah, 3-1 sound about right. Maybe this is what Klopp needs, but no, I don't see any way Liverpool is going to beat a team that has a decent roster right now. If they get Thiago, maybe, but not right now. That Liverpool midfield against that Chelsea midfield, no.
Yeah, I'm not picking against Liverpool. They're still champions. They'll have a tough week of training and they'll get together and beat this Chelsea. We have not seen this Chelsea outfit play yet. We'll see them tomorrow against Brighton. They might look like world beaters or they might look like a bunch of idiots. Also, another big game coming on this week. Just want to quickly get your thoughts on it. Borussia Dortmund, German Bundesliga kicks off. Borussia Dortmund versus Borussia Mönchengladbach. Mönchengladbach pushed up against the title last year. Borussia Dortmund is trying to make this a successful year. Your thoughts, your prediction, come on, Junior. Dortmund to win, as expected. Junior?
Is it Dortmund with Sancho or without Sancho? That makes a big difference. But I think Dortmund is going to win.
Yeah, I think Sancho is that Sancho deal is dead, right?
Yeah, man. Dead.
That Sancho deal is dead, Junior, right? So, and another big game coming down next week. You know, PSG lost today to Marseille in the French league. Once PSG sort out this COVID issue of players testing positive, everything should be back to normal, right? This is the second loss for them in as many games. They lost the opener against Lens and they lost today against Marseille in the El Clasique. Come on, Junior.
They'll right the ship. I mean, like, once the star baller starts rolling back in, it's that's it.
Once
the star baller roll in. All right, so football lovers.
Real quick, Benton. I'm gonna just go through these comments real quick.
Yeah.
BM is saying we're going to talk about Shamar Nicholson soon in the Yawd Ballas, BM, and Jamaican girl. Big up. Also big up to Jamai, Chelsea, UK, representing London City. He said the Chelsea fans them start roll out now like, hey, them enough like Liverpool with that. BM is saying, how can a coach start criticizing his players? First game of a 38-game season. This is ridiculous. Jose's glory days are clearly behind him. Jamaican girl is also saying Jose is a mess. BM is asking us, the panel, and we can, and come on, we'll leave it to answer this in your balls. How do you guys see the new season going for Bailey?
Yeah, we'll touch that with Yawd Ballers in a second, in about 5 minutes or so. We have a special guest joining us. We're going to highlight one of Ball Chat focuses here, so highlight women's football. We have Khadij Fishley, coach, CEO, and the director of her own academy in the island. Khadij, how are you doing?
I'm good.
Welcome. And so give us an overview of women's football this week. We have Arsenal kicking up West Ham 9-1. Manchester, I think Spurs made a big transfer in securing the service of Alex Morgan. But just a snippet of what's to come on the segment.
All right. Well, I really appreciate you guys giving me this forum. Women's football is here to stay. FIFA is making sure that it's here to stay. They're putting in a lot of resources in developing the women's game, and we are seeing that now with the number of stars that are moving to the Barclays Women's Super League. Currently, 9 of the men's team in the EPL have a female team in that top tier. And that's, as you say, Arsenal, of course, Chelsea, who are defending champions and are currently undefeated in the last 23 games. We also have Manchester City, who have also signed a few high-profile footballers in terms of Rose Lavelle and Sam Lewis of the U.S. women's team, World Cup winning women's team. And I also forgot, I can't believe I forget to mention that Chelsea has also made a big splash in the market. They have signed who is now the most expensive female footballer and one of the top female footballers in the world in Pernille Harder, who has scored her first goal today. And that was something to watch. If you guys are able to look it up and watch it, you will be impressed. Also, Manchester United, Tottenham, Everton, Aston Villa, Brighton, and West Ham. In this weekend alone, 31 goals were scored, with Arsenal and Chelsea responsible for 18 of them. So it's a league that gives you a lot of goals. I can promise you that. And the most surprising result this weekend was Manchester City drawing with Brighton. The teams to watch are Arsenal, Chelsea, and City. These are always the top 3 teams in the league for the last few years. And the matches against these are one to watch. The last match, the Chelsea City match, that was back and forth. At one point, Man City was leading, then Chelsea draw, then Man City leading again, then Chelsea draw again, go back to leading, and it was one of the best games of that season. And I also know that you guys have a segment with Jamaican ballers, so I also want to highlight Bonnie Khadija Shaw, whose team drew today against PSG, which is another one of the top teams in the French league.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Kadish. We're looking forward to this segment. My fancy baller, Rose Lavelle. Wait, running Rose. So this segment will happen bi-weekly. You will update us on women's game. And you're also a fancy Chelsea fan. So Manchester United finally have women football at the with the bugger men them.
Yes, and let me just say, Manchester United is one of those frustrating teams, both the men and the women. It's where you expect to win, and then for some reason you just can't pull the victory. So
it's in the water at the club. It's in the water at the club.
They drew with Chelsea last weekend, which was an unexpected result. And I should also say there was something else that I wanted to say. Yes, I can't leave without having a job at Arsenal. The Arsenal women's team is the only good thing about Arsenal in the last 3 years. So I have to put that in before I go.
Even you too? You too?
Definitely.
Kadish, especially thank you for joining us. And good luck, and we look forward to your report week in and week out in a couple of weeks or so. Good luck to your fancy Chelsea, and we're looking forward to spread the word on women's football. Kadish, stay safely and big up yourself, family.
All right, you guys too. All right, thank you.
Bless up.
Bye.
All right, moving away from women's football, that's a new segment in Ball Chat. We want to highlight some of the big happenings women's football to Yawd ballas. Come on. Yeah, Bunny Shaw score a goal. Junior Flemmings score goals.
I know,
What's going on?
I know. So I think Tapagoy have a whole heap of issues on his hands when he's ready to choose him side. If he wants to go the USL route. So Canada Forbes will be out with a leg injury for a month or so. He's the captain for Pittsburgh and the leading goal scorer. This is a big blow because this ends his 75-game streak of starting for Pittsburgh. So he's currently in the second place in assists. He's sitting on 7 assists. A big blow for Canada, and I wish him all the best. Nico Brett is now up to 7 goals. He scored in a 3-1 loss to Dan Kelly's team. Jamoy Topi seems to be doing well. He has improved. He played 58 minutes in Philly's 1-1 tie with Loudoun United. Romario Williams, he scored for Miami versus Atlanta. He now has 6 goals in 10 games after a slow and rocky start. So he's kind of, coming around the bend. Dan Kelly scored a hat-trick last week and was named USL Player of the Month. He um he scored not month the week. Okay, Junior Flemmings. He
Yeah.
scored a brace on Saturday, which is yesterday, versus Nico Brett's team. So he now has 10 goals, just two shy of Junior Flemming's 12. Shamar Nicholson scored a goal and had an assist in his team's win today. They're now in first place, and I think this is his fifth goal. After starting off on the bench, so now he's actually securing his spot. Junior Fleming is leading the Golden Boot race with 12 goals, which I think should be 13, but they didn't give him the last goal because it bunks off for the goalie and going at the goal, which is so foolish. So he's on 12, so I'm leading the race. Devon Speedy Williams is fifth on the distribution list with 726 passes. I think he's a good little baller. And Tapa can bring him in a camp because Jamaica really needs some passes. Alvarez Powell did not feature in the game. He was not in the 11, not on the bench. Never see him in high stands versus his team yesterday. I remember them play. O'Neill Fisher entered the game for DC United in the 61st minute. O'Neill, you need a better team, sir. They lost 2-0 to New York Red Bulls. Kaim Paris, he scored yesterday to help his team to a 3-0 victory. I think this is an excellent place for him to continue his improvement. He's doing really, really well. Alex Marshall is adjusting well in the Canadian Premier League. His team is now in second place. He's getting his minutes in, he's scoring his goals. He's just contributing all over the pitch. And for the question with Leon Bailey, I think I saw where a press conference was done, and they said that Leon Bailey's corona test came back negative. So he's either on his way back to Germany today or it will be there tomorrow. His team beat Nürnberg or whatever the team was, 7-0, 7-1
Yes.
without him. For him, even when Kai's not there, I still think that Leon will have to work really hard to see the starting 11. I don't know if the coach is really high on him. And for Leon not to be there in preseason kind of, make him kind of up on the outside as well. So I have to work him way in. So I don't see a change, from last season to now. I still think that he will have a little bit of adjusting to do.
Yeah, big up to all Yawd ballers. Go on, eat your food. Quickly as we wrap up the show, come on, Darren Mattox. Any update as is pertaining to new club or anything relating to Darren?
No. The last thing I heard was that there are two clubs in Turkey that is interested in Darren. Nothing else. Darren is 30 years old and he has not played football for almost 6-7 months.
Yeah.
So there's a layoff. Plus, he has his court case, which we haven't heard anything about. Corona. So Darren is in a difficult place. I mean, he's a good footballer. There's a club out there for him, but I haven't heard anything. I haven't heard anything about Norman Campbell either. I saw where there was an interview where Jardine was told that says he was told by Watford not to say anything, but yet you get an interview in the paper, a chat.
The chat. All right, football family, as we wrap up our show, we'll have our prediction up on the table. I am leading the table, so I'm just like a boss, all right? We're pushing up, it's wrapping up the show. Engineer, do you have anything else to say, Bridget?
No, big up to Dwight Spence. Dwight, we're going to table this question for next week. So make sure you follow next week so for the answer to Dwight. Which league is better quality, the USL Championship or third division Bundesliga? Three Bundesliga. He's also saying big up Joey Desert from Orlando City. Big up to Damian Tomlinson. Saying big up Ball Chat. Big up Chelsea. Boy, I tell you, the Chelsea people them are rolling out. Chelsea is the new Liverpool from 2-3 years ago. That's what I'm starting to notice.
And
we will see. Big up to Keys. We're having a topic, but on topic of Bailey, we have to remember his we're having a conversation about Leon Bailey on Flow Sports, and he just brought up a big point on the topic of Bailey. We have to remember his dad. So big up to Mr. Butler. Anyway, you stand up right now. Big up, Mr. Butler. We're going to continue the discussion next week as well about Leon Bailey. like you just heard, negative. It's rumored to have a negative COVID test, so he should be back in Germany, right? So let's see what happens next week.
All right, football family. This is the first episode of season 3. Ball Chat wrapping up if you want to connect with us, link us on Instagram at Ball Chat Podcast. Connect with us, Ball Chat 1 on Twitter, Ball Chat at Facebook. You can email us at ballchatpodcast@gmail.com. The audio version of the show will be available on iTunes, Google Play, Spotify. I want to big up Toots Hibbert, the sweet and dandy man. I'll play sweet and dandy right now. Come on, Junior, we're gonna run the family.
Big up to Isaiah. Big up to Isaiah, new subscriber. We'll start big up our subscribers. Just subscribe to the YouTube channel. Subscribe to Flo. Also subscribe to Ball Chat YouTube channel. All right.
Yes, hit that subscribe button. Big up Carmen10 for following us on Twitter. Big up yourself, family.
Big up Isaiah. So people, you're going to see our predictions. We don't have any time to go through the predictions today, but you're going to see our predictions for the games of the week. Check us out on our Instagram and Facebook. You see the predictions. Tell us if we're wrong. Tell us if we're right. Follow us on Instagram. I'm going to say it again. Follow us at Ball Chat Podcast. Also at Ball Chat 1 on Twitter and at Ball Chat on Facebook. But don't talk. If you don't want to talk to us some more, email ballchatpodcast@gmail.com.
Come on. We're going to run now. Come on.
Later.